Hi there, this is Miss Heidi again. Today, hello Kingdom Kids families. We are here this week to talk about one of the many wonders of God's creation, and that is birds. We're going to talk today about birds. I'm here with two of my daughters. Here's Flora and Sigrid. And here's another friend who lives with us. This is Mr. Bird. He is a ring-necked dove. He is a domesticated bird. They've been domesticated. I read that he was around, this type of bird was around when Jesus was around. They were domesticated way back then. So they've been used by humans for a long time. So what makes a bird a bird? There's a few things that a lot of birds, or that all birds have in common, and we're just going to talk about a few of them. So what do they have at the front of their face? It's not just a nose, it's a beak. And birds have beaks suited for the type of food they eat and the job that they do. So I'm going to show you some different examples of beaks. Okay. So we'll start with this little one. This bird, sure, has a very sharp, hooked beak. So these are for catching prey. This is a predator bird. This is a small hawk called a sharp-shinned hawk. So they have that sharp little beak. You want to hold that one? Another type of beak you might see out in wild birds. This one's dirty because it was one I found in the woods. Look at that long beak. It's pointy, but it doesn't have the same hook down. This is a cardinal beak. So you think about what cardinals eat. They might be opening seeds, maybe collecting little fruits. All right, can I see? Mama, yeah, let's see this big one. This one, oh sure, yep, you can open that and hold it. This one, that looks so big, doesn't it? This is a wild bird too. Any guesses? This is a wild, good guess, it's even bigger. This is a wild turkey. So they are out foraging for acorns and beech nuts and little plants that are growing around. And now this beak, very specialized.
Is it a hummingbird?
It almost looks like it could be a hummingbird, except this is bigger than a hummingbird. This is a woodcock, and he uses this long beak to probe in soft mud to find worms, and he can actually feel with this very sensitive tip of his beak and find the worms. So God has given these birds all these special tools for the jobs that they have to do to find the food they need for themselves and for their young. So another thing all birds have in common is they lay eggs. So Sigrid has an example of a little eggshell that she found. Did you want to tell anything about it?
We were at our neighbor's house, and our neighbor showed us the egg, so we decided to take it home so we would remember the baby robin we saw that day, because we had saw a baby robin peek out of its nest.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a robin's egg.
Can you set it up on your knee so I can see it? Here, I'm going to zoom right in on it. Oh, I almost did. I've got your knee. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful.
And then Flora has some chicken eggshells. A friend of ours cleaned these out and made a pretty ornament for us. Those are chicken eggshells. And a lot of birds build nests to lay their eggs. So I have an example here of a nest. Can you sit down? This, I believe, is a vireo nest. They like to make these little sort of cup-like nests that they glue together with their saliva and different grasses. And a lot of people think of birds sort of like sleeping in their nests at night, like it's their house, but the main purpose is actually birds build their nests to raise their young, to lay their eggs and raise their young. So if you find a nest now, you probably wouldn't want to disturb it because the bird is probably working on it, maybe getting ready to lay eggs. There might even be eggs in it. But if you find a nest in the winter when birds are not nesting, they're not raising their young, you can go check it out and inspect the details of it.
But Mama, what if they found some place warm and they're going to come back to to it.
So they don't, in the winter, they don't sleep in their nest. Some birds do sleep in nest cavities and holes in trees, but they don't really sleep in their nest in the winter.
Like woodpeckers.
Like woodpecker holes, yeah. So we're gonna go check something out over this way. So over here, right on top of that Christmas wreath, there is a robin's nest. So the robins make their nest with grass and twigs and mud. We line the whole thing with mud. And there's some little babies in there. They have already hatched from their eggs, and they are waiting for their parents to bring them food. The parent is actually up in a tree nearby, waiting patiently for us to move so she can feed her babies. We're hoping maybe she'll fly down and feed them while we're here, but they're in there, laying low, blended in. So really, some neat terms I was gonna teach you. These might be some terms your parents don't even know, so you can find out. These babies, when they're born, when they're hatched from their eggs, are called altricial. So altricial means when they hatch, they don't have feathers, and they don't move around much. They just stay in the nest. Some baby birds, if you think of ducklings and chickens, they're called precocial. When they hatch, they have feathers, and they very quickly are able to move around. So when you see a nest, or if you see baby birds, you can ask yourself, is this baby bird, did it start out altricial with no feathers and its eyes closed, or is it precocial with feathers and able to move around? You probably hear the mama robin calling there.
You can see her a little bit.
Yeah, there she is. Oh, yep.
She's behind a leaf. Oh, there she is. Can you tell me about your chicken secret?
This one isn't mine. This one is Sylvia, and she sort of has feathers on her feet. And she's very easy to catch. I saw her tongue.
Look at those pretty feathers she has.
She's the second prettiest. Well, she's one of the others.
Here comes Flora with another. Slow down.
Okay, Flora, you stand right by Sigrid. I'll take yours. Oh, what can you tell me about your chicken, Flora?
So, this isn't my chicken, but my chicken is named White Focia.
Well, who's this one? Say who this one is.
Well, this is Castro, and she isn't mine, but she's one pretty chicken. She has black feathers too.
So if you look at their feet are just right for scratching in the leaves and finding bugs and treats and little growing things, and their beaks are just right for that too. So they have beaks that can
Does yours
eat a
take
little bit of
pictures
green.
without a sound?
No, it has sound. This shows the chickens in the woods scratching right now.
And also she's small because she holds out her wings when you try to get her just a little bit, like she's crossing her arms. I mean,
So one feature that is unique to birds, so there's other animals that have beaks, and there's other animals that lay eggs. You can probably think of some. There's some snakes that lay eggs, frogs and toads lay eggs, but something that only birds have is feathers. So God designed birds with feathers, and feathers can be very, very diverse, lots of different kinds of feathers. There's feathers that help them fly, so special designed wing feathers for different types of flight too. Some birds do more soaring, some birds take off really fast. There's feathers for warmth. There's feathers for camouflage that might help them blend. So if you think of owl feathers, they're to help the owl move quietly in the woods. So we have some example of feathers here. So if you look at these, you can think about what are the different tasks that these feathers would have to help these birds. Here's a long wing feather. Here's another long wing feather. Here's shorter tail feathers. These might help a bird blend in the woods. Here's some more different kinds of feathers. You can see if you sit over here and then I'll hand it to you. Some more long, narrow flight feathers. Here's sort of the fuzzy owl feathers that help silence the owl in flight. So feathers are really amazing because owls need to fly quietly to find their prey, to get a little mouse or a rabbit. So God designed those feathers for those birds, and God designed you with lots of gifts and abilities for the work that He has you in His will to do. And I'm going to read you a verse. It is Job 12, 7 to 10. But ask the animals, and they will teach you, or the birds of the air, and they will tell you, or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, or let the fish of the sea inform you. Which of all of these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In His hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. So God designed the birds and God designed you. He has a special job for all His creatures, and He has a very special job for each of His children. And He loves you, and He's given you gifts and abilities. So seek that out, and I encourage you to spend time in His Word, and we hope to see you soon. So this again is Mr. Bird, our ring-necked dove, and he has a beak that's suitable for eating seeds, and his feet are just right for perching, and he's good at walking on the ground too, just like if you saw a mourning dove moving around in your yard or in the neighborhood. Real similar structure.
So this is one. So this is Mr. Bird. He's a ring-necked dove. He's all pet. I really care about him. And he runs away because he doesn't like being holded.
And now where's he? What's he doing now?
He has now poached on his own cage.
Yeah. That was.
I might need a little help to get him down.
Okay, hold on.